I'm Father John, and I will be discussing today how to create a sacred space in your homes for prayer. In these days of the pandemic, we find ourselves confined for the most part at home, and we find ourselves deprived of Mass and even the ability to just come to church to pray before the Blessed Sacrament in the tabernacle. Well, this got me thinking about reclaiming Catholic customs for the home. You know, our Catholic faith considers the home to be a sacred place itself, a little domestic church, a unit of the larger household of the faith, which is another name for the church. And this is expressed in a beautiful custom that we've had for a long time, and some homes still observe it, of having a holy water font at the inside entrance of the home. And it is the custom that everyone, as they enter the house, they first, like at church, make the sign of the cross from the holy water. Another Catholic tradition is to create a sacred place in the home where individuals or the entire family can gather to pray. And this is very common in Hispanic families who might have a little altar somewhere in the home on which is placed an image of Our Lady of Guadalupe, Christ, and sometimes even pictures of deceased members of the family. Filipino families often have a home altar on which is placed a statue of the Sacred Heart of Jesus or the Santo Niño. It's not uncommon also to see a statue of Mary in a home's garden where members can go to pray the rosary in a peaceful setting. So it is a Catholic custom to create a sacred place in the home that we can go to help focus our minds on prayer. In these times when we're not able to go to this sacred place that is our parish church, sanctified by the celebration of the sacraments and the presence of Christ in the Eucharist, reserved in our tabernacles, we perhaps need more than ever the custom of setting aside a sacred place in our homes for prayer. I'd also like to introduce to you the beautiful customs from our Eastern Catholic churches, especially the Byzantine. We can learn much from them and adapt them to our needs. Eastern Catholics call their sacred space in the home the prayer corner or the icon corner. It's the custom for, if possible, to place it facing towards the east, because the east you have the rising sun from the east, symbolic of Jesus Christ, the Son of Justice. And this icon corner or prayer corner is a shelf or a table on which are placed the Bible, and also they would place on it a cross, they would place on it a censer, a special kind of censer for incense. Sometimes they would place holy water. Here's a beautiful Byzantine Orthodox bottle for the holy water. Some try to obtain water from the Jordan River, and this would be placed on their altar. And of course, this is a more humble holy water receptacle, that easy to obtain. They also would place flowers on the icon corner, or palms from Palm Sunday. Now, above the, if you can imagine a wall here, above the shelf or the table, would be hung the icons. Most commonly an icon of Christ and Mary. So this would be placed above. Here is a real icon. Both of those are real, not prints. It's also the custom, a beautiful custom, to have an icon of the patron saint of each member of the family. So, for example, my name, baptismal name being John, and my patron saint being John the Baptist. So I have a icon of Saint John the Baptist on the wall above my icon corner. You can also place on the wall, other icons of your favorite saints. This would be Saint Justin Martyr, of course, the patron of our church. Okay, and again, you could place these on the altar, the prayer corner, or you could on the wall. Okay. Of course, icons have become very popular over the years in the Roman Catholic Church. Many Roman Catholics have them in their homes, and even in our churches. Here at St. Justin Martyr, our pride and joy is our 4-foot by 5-foot icon of St. Justin Martyr, painted in the Russian style by the iconographer Charles Rohrbacher. Icons are a topic in themselves. For another lecture, we may address that. Icons, in their deep theological and spiritual meaning, are a world unto themselves, and so perhaps at another time we will lecture on icons. Candles or oil lamps are traditionally kept burning before the icons. A very traditional one is, this is an icon lamp, and it's actually hung from the ceiling or from a bracket coming out of the wall. And it could be a can with a candle or with oil. The ancient practice, the more ancient practice is oil. Now, all of these items that I'm talking about, we will have on the website for you to places, religious goods stores where you can obtain them. The real icons are painted in such a manner as to reflect the light coming from the oil lamp or the candles, just as the person depicted in the icon reflects the light and grace of the Holy Spirit within. Now, some people leave the oil lamp or candles burning all the time, and others light them only for their prayer time. I'm not so sure it's a good idea to have them burning all the time if you have small children at home, and also because we live in earthquake country here in California, it might not be such a good idea. Real icons such as this are quite expensive, and again I can give you the names of iconographers if you wish to acquire one in the description on our website. So most of us will have to make do with icon prints, and indeed this is a print that's just framed nicely. And I must say that if you order the icons, whether a real or print one, it's not going to be framed. This is a Western adaptation, so you usually do not frame icons. So when you acquire one, it's not going to be framed. It's going to be on wood, and that is the custom not to frame them. But again, this is a Western adaptation. To burn incense, to put oneself in the mood to pray, is very ancient and used in almost all the great religious traditions of the world. In fact, some of the ancient rabbis said that the sweet smell of incense was the principal way, in their opinion, to put us in the mood to pray. Incense was used, of course, in the Old Testament temple in Jerusalem. It's, of course, used in the Roman Catholic Church and all the Eastern Catholic and Orthodox churches during the Mass. And we Roman Catholics use it also during benediction. Besides using incense at prayer time at the home altars or icon corners, again, the Eastern Catholics have a beautiful tradition of carrying the censer through the house, throughout all the rooms of the house, to bless it, especially on Saturday evenings, to usher in with joy the start of the Lord's Day, Sunday. And there are many other beautiful customs associated with the icon corner. For example, you can make it your practice as a family to announce good news or even bad news at your home altar as a way of teaching your family that our God is present and working in all the events of our lives, good and bad, joyous and sorrowful. And there at the altar you can discuss the event and then turn to the icons or your statues of God and His saints for guidance and comfort. In this time of social distancing and being confined to our homes, we have seen some good things come out of all of this. The traditional family dinner has returned because the children are not off to soccer practice or music lessons or whatever. So we are again find ourselves at table together. And also, we're talking to one another at great length. Instead of a hurried kiss before we're off to school and work, or a tired "how was school" at the end of your day. Perhaps these times will cause us to reclaim some of our old Catholic practices and customs. One of these is the powerful presence of the home altar or icon corner, calling us each day to pray together as a family to the God who has created us, saved us, and is our true source of peace in good times and in bad. Thank you for watching, and let us all pray for one another in these difficult times, and all God's blessings to you.